the diode board. When I had the game out and you know, basically took everything apart, I put new flippers on. I replaced the bumper coil and just the spring and all that. Just the basic stuff that people do to clean it up. You know, I did check all the diodes and they were all good, but I put the thing back in. I didn't really realize how they at the factory put these, but there's an actual hole in this board where those wires can go into, but how they had it was they just kind of laid it on it, so you know, kind of like you would do, you know, on the solenoid or the flippers. Yeah. I mean, that's how I do mine, and that's how you're supposed to do them. Is you put some solder on there, then you solder the wire, then you heat up the tap that you had solder on, and then put it on there. But these, they don't really have a good amount of space to do that, and they're thinner wire, the thinner wire gauges. So I found a couple of these really hanging by a thread, and you know, that could have gave me other issues too that hopefully will be resolved, you know. But if you're redoing this game and have it out, I would take each one of those off like I did while I was in the game, cut back the wire a little bit, put some solder on it, and then heat up that that point on the board, and then just stick the wire through it, get it hot on the, you know, put your iron on that solder point on the board, heat it up, then go ahead, put the wire through it that you just took off and cleaned up. But some other stuff, you know, I had the flashers, was testing those. I want all those to work. And if you have the game out, just buy a bunch of these resistors. Are cheap. You can buy the flash boards themselves, I guess, but they're not cheap. I mean, it's not that hard to change those, and if you have the game out, I'd do that. I mean, I left a few in there, but if they look kind of toasted, just go ahead and replace them, because it's not really the resistor, it's the connection that's going to break. Another thing too you can do on these is you take those out. Some people will say you can bend that tab over. That works somewhat, but not as good as if you heat this up a little bit, put a little more solder on there, and then you can bend those over, and then just, I actually bought a bunch of these. I wish I would have bought a couple more. They're cheap. You can buy them by the dozen for like $5. I don't even know. They're really cheap. So if you're redoing this game to make it look nice and work nice, go ahead and just buy a handful. You don't need to be cheap. But even if you buy new ones, I'd go ahead and just resolder these a little bit. That way it has somewhere to bite. Think of anything else? You know, you always want to do as much as you can, but it's those flashers, once you get it back together testing it, you're like, damn, I wish I would have done this. But for the most part, if you take care of these flasher boards, you shouldn't have any problems. And I know there's something else I was going to point out that might be helpful, but I can't think of it right now. Anyways, hopefully this helps someone who's redoing this game. It's a great game. I took a lot of time redoing this playfield, and I'm not an artist, but I had no choice. I didn't want to wait until a new remake was going to be made, so I did a lot of these touch-ups. If you notice here, this blue right here, it should be like a digital kind of, you see the artwork behind there. Originally that's wax, I just waxed it. Originally that, if you look at yours, if you have one, you'll see it kind of comes out to here. Well, this was all messed up from the Mylar, and I can't do that kind of artwork, and I didn't want to pay someone to do it for me or make a sticker or whatever, so I blended it in. And all the colors and stuff I used from it's Asian guy. He's like a NASA scientist, so I took his advice and I figured he'd be right. But all these colors were his. I had one that I did change up a little bit, and if you're doing this and you want to know, let me know. But I basically did all his colors with the method he chose, and I did a little bit of stuff different. I think it really you can't even see the line, and I mean, this thing was messed up. I mean, you can see like right there, that missile's drawn in by me. All this stuff here was gone. I mean, it was a mess. I didn't really think it turned out this nice. And you know, these insert decals do stick up just a tad more than I like, but overall it's 100% better than what it was. And I got these from the guy on eBay up in Canada. I think this one's really sweet over here. I think this one over here is really cool. I think this one over here, I think, is a little too much, I'll be honest with you. Like, the missiles here are cool, but I think the artwork's cool. It blends in with the era, but I think this kind of overdid it. Nothing against him, or I don't really regret it, but I might take it off someday. I think if he would have done this one with no background, just the artwork here, I think it really would have looked cool, because you could still see the ball coming up the shooter lane. It didn't take away too much of the originality, but I think this one just kind of overdid it. But this one is definitely, I think, a must. I think it has to be on there if you want this game to look good, because it just looked like they stopped at the factory, wanted to get it out without doing something cool like he did. And I really do like that lift off over there. Like I said, this one's the only one I'm not too fond of, but it's okay. I was thinking about getting the Target decals, but then again, I think I'm going way too overboard. I don't like a lot of non-original stuff, but you know, this up here, just, I think it should have been done with the game or something similar. So I definitely like it a lot. And another thing I did was the guy who I bought this from, it was already, the cabinet was done, and it was awesome. I mean, the cabinet is great. But I can't believe they did all that, because he had it professionally done, but they did not cover up the holes, the bolt holes for the where the old keypad or the lock bar across that when it was out of the, you know, skating rink or whatever. So there was 2 holes there. I didn't know what to do, and I had these old lamps. They're hard to see, but I put those in there, and then I just put, it's actually just a lamp cover, and then you can see it in here. It's a LED. It's one of those ones that stretch, and I just wired that in. I try not to make it look like crap. I would have liked to use the Molex, but I'm really dead on this. I've spent so much time, but I just kind of wired in here, and it goes to the coin chute lamps. Yeah, it'd be cool if I could get these to flash and go along with the game, but you know, I think I've done too much already, and I just want to play it. So anyways, hope this helps. If you are interested in redoing this game, feel free to contact me if you'd like for any questions. Alright, keep on playing the pinball. Thanks.